Hi, it's Melinda from Hope When There Was None. I wanted to show you this. First of all, I made this last night. Ta-da! I was kind of playing around with some magazines last night, and it's been a little while since I've made one, so I wanted to do one. It's fun. It's something relaxing for me, a vision board. If you don't know what one of those are, I will let you know that I will be presenting one pretty soon online. Oh, that was a secret. It's upcoming. I'll have some information on that soon. And I'm going to partner up with a gal named Michelle, and we're going to do one online. But if you're local and you wish to do one, learn more about it, let me know. I'd like to get something together as well. In addition to that, I wanted to ask, if you purchase my books, can you do me a favor? If you purchase them online, could you go to Amazon and just write a review for me? I'd appreciate that. Perhaps you didn't. You picked one up at a book signing or have been gifted one, whatever the case is. Could you send me a small email? If you can't do an email, maybe a Facebook message, just whether you enjoyed the book, whether you didn't. I'd appreciate it. I'd like to use that for further advertising as well as, well, just for the future. And I'd like to hear from you, even if you don't want to leave a review. I'd love to hear from you. What are your issues? Is there something I can help you with? Do you have maybe a speaking engagement ideas? I'd love to come to your women's group, church group, and just to get the message out there. And I don't talk about just domestic violence, but it is an important topic and very near and dear to my heart. I do have other topics that I can speak of, which I will be coming to a few moms groups coming up in the future and discussing, like self-care for moms, vision boards, and journaling, writing, and giving some tips on that as well. So there are different things that I can talk about, not just domestic violence, but in my story as well. But on that, let's see, I was going to say something about that. My books, I've been doing these book signings for a while, and people, one of the first things they ask me, what is your story about? So my book starts when it's pretty graphic in the first scene. It's the spaghetti night, but I go through in my book how it started, and my abuse started in my childhood. So I go through that, and then when I met my abuser, and I met him when I was a teenager, and then how it escalated, and I actually eventually married him. And then what happened from there, and then children came, and so on and so on. So that's what the book is about. There is some safety tips there, and little things that I picked up as I went along. I called it Legal Land, things that I've learned navigating through the legal field. There came a time I didn't have an attorney. I couldn't afford one, and I was on a pro bono waiting list. So I kind of had to figure out what a lot of these terms were, a lot of words were, what are we going to court for, and I wanted to be armed with more knowledge than just sitting there. It also gave me direction and empowered me, so I felt a lot stronger, because at this time, when I was navigating through there, especially early on, I didn't feel very strong. But this helped me. It really did. So I encourage you, if you are in this situation right now, find a way to empower yourself and advocating for yourself, because I know you might have an attorney, but you are your best advocate for you and your children. So whatever you got to do, there's so many podcasts out there, there's so many great blogs out there where you can find, and even books, where you can find a great deal of information. So I encourage you to do so. Again, it's not just for knowledge, but it's to help you going forward in whatever legal proceeding that you have. I also want to let you know that I had a question about counseling. I've had a few of these. Does counseling work? I did a talk with a group, and I'll have to share their information later, at the St. Jude House. They had a bit of information there that they do counseling for domestic violence and also other things for parenting, and also a bunch of other resources, which are really neat. But they do have a program there for violence, that sort of thing, and people can go through the program. It's, I haven't done it, so I can't say exactly what it is, but they said that their success rate is pretty good. I have heard of some counseling work. Now, I think it depends on the situation, whether maybe alcohol was used, whether drugs were used during your situation by your abuser, also whether there is any mental health issues, whether there is, whether your person wants to change, you're the man or the woman wants to change. Because remember, not only can men be abusers, but women can too. They just might do it a little differently. Sometimes it's physical. Most of the time it's a verbal or mental thing that ladies do to men. But again, that's just me. This is all my opinion, just from what I've read, just what I've seen, and just from people that have come out to me and chatted with me once I've shared my story. So going with that, I'm still on the fence about the counseling thing myself because it didn't work for us, but it didn't work for me and my partner then. And it also didn't work for me afterwards. So you've got to do what works for you. My second book, Rising from the Ashes, is what I did to help heal my PTSD. So again, I'm about 95% healed from that. So I did more of a holistic thing, more of a praying. I pray through everything. You know, the Lord, my Savior, He helped me. He walked and guided me when I didn't feel like getting up. I mentioned before that I felt suicidal. If I didn't have my foundation with my faith in my Lord, I wouldn't probably be here right now. And if I didn't leave that situation, I know I wouldn't be here right now. But regardless, does counseling work? I think if the person really wants to change, yes. I think if you get the right counselor, therapist, psychiatrist, yes. With all those factors, yeah, I'm going to go with maybe a percentage-wise, you know, this isn't a scientific thing. I would say maybe 50-50. I'm going to throw that out there. If there's anybody that is in these professions and would like to give their opinion on that, I'd love to hear from you. But I'm going to let you go. I've rambled on a little bit much, but that's what's been on my mind. So I hope you're having a great day, and I look forward to chatting with you more. I will be making a couple more appearances, and hope to see you. If you can't make those, just keep an eye on my page. I hope to have some future events. Again, if you know a women's club, church, group, anybody that needs someone to come to speak to them about domestic violence, my story, or other topics, you can drop me a line. I'd really love to hear from you. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And I will talk to you later. Mwah. Remember, you are great, you are wonderful, you are worthy, and I love you. Bye.